Hello from my garden here. I want to share something about a journey I'm in since a few weeks or since a few months even. Months, yeah. Where it's the experience of having a very, very different reality than someone who is very, very dear to me. And I have been many, many times in the place that my reality is very different than from other people, the reality. And I have no problem with holding that or experiencing that. But it's the first time for me that someone who has a place in my heart and puts in my direction. And honestly, we spoke about that. Like my experiences, she blames me, or there's accusation happening towards me, which is really not my experience. It's the opposite, I could say. It's really the opposite of what is her experience. And I'm involved in that. So it's very challenging since a few weeks and months for me, because when I share such a different reality with someone, one thing. But if I experience accusation towards me or towards my behavior or towards my personality, my beingness, my integrity, what I totally cannot see like that, it's totally not true for me. Totally not. But for her, it is. It's it brings up a lot. And there came these very old wounds. I think they are older than myself. And I know many of you know these wounds of being a healer, working as a healer, and having these accusations, past, we got burned, we got killed, we got put in the prison, or, all these things which happen to healers or witches, or people who worked with energies and forces and nature, and all that came up also over the last weeks and months, being in that process and holding that. And I know, she gives her best, and I give my best in that, and it's such an interesting conflict, and there's so much coming up for me. And one of the beautiful things, there are many things I'm learning, but one of the beautiful things I'm learning is really, and what also came through me, and that is that love and that compassion and that spaciousness, and holding the space with expansion and not contracting, like the Scorpio, when the Scorpio get hurt, out of the shadow of the Scorpio, it could contract, it could hide, it could go against. And I can see these patterns coming up, but I can see that I'm evolving into the light of seeing all these facets of truth, different truths, all these facets of different dimensions. I see the energy of of the light, of life-giving energy, life-supportive energy, how it goes through all that, what comes up for her and for me, and how this energy is weaving and evolving, and releasing karmic stuff, releasing ancestral stuff, especially karmic stuff, maybe if we want to call past life stuff, like areas where my soul or my beingness or my consciousness somehow has been before. And it's really like being in conflict versus contracting, staying open and seeing it all as an opportunity to learn and grow and love even more, to even be deeper connected with all the high frequencies, life-giving energies, life-supportive energies, versus going into the wounding and the contraction and the protection, what is also there, right? And seeing that also, like, globally and universally and collectively, learning so much about when people have different realities, totally different realities, how easy it is to go in the wound and then to fight and go into fear and blame and excusation and contraction, how easily, right? But then there's a joyous of staying in love and even more love, and the love is expanding for these different views and different facets of consciousness, and seeing how all that is part of totality and what's happening here in the Ute microcosmos, and then also seeing all in the macro level, how that works, and the energetics in it, and weaved through it, and how easily war can happen, and how to find alignment, love, and the capacity of seeing the totality, how many facets of experiences are there, and how many stories the mind can create, and seeing that as a human condition and not as a personal excusation towards me. So leaning back and really breathing in this spaciousness, and then consciousness is expanding, and the love is expanding, and the life-giving energies are expanding. And it's a very beautiful experience, and I'm very grateful for that. I don't know how it will end. I don't know how it will go on. With this person who has a big part in my heart, and we had years of friendship and sisterhood. I don't know how it will move on, but I know there is love and spaciousness and growth and learning. And there are old wounds and hurt, but I really don't want and choose not to go there to react out of it. Like, I give my best, and it needs focus. It needs intention. And I'm so grateful what I'm learning here in this micro world, Ute, because I see how that causes all these wars in the world. I can see it, Bye. Ciao. Thank you for listening.